Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I actually planned to do that video only for my guilds, but then decided to share it with you guys as well. Because today we have a main year in review 2022 and I will cover all the things that happened in our guilds and event-wise this year. First off though, I want to thank my guild and you guys as well for an amazing year 2022, even though we didn't get a lot of content this year and the frustration is still quite high within the console community. We had a quite eventful year. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. To start with some numbers and with something I'm personally responsible for, we will start with the recruitment for main this year. In total, we had 242 people that applied to main. That makes 0.66 trials per day, and at that point I really want to thank our amazing trialing team. It was super stressful often, but we did a great job guys and had a lot of fun with those trials, so really thank you for that. From those 242 applications, we declined 158 and accepted 80 people. 4 are still pending, though they probably will be sorted by the time you see this video. In terms of the people that joined this year, we had 41 people of those 80 people that got accepted that are still in the guilds. Please note that in total more people joined the guilds over the year, but either left or got replaced at this point. 59% or 50 people are in main longer than 1 year already, what is quite impressive in my opinion. Thank every one of you for joining and I hope we will have a great time in 2023. Our gear score also increased quite nicely. We started with an average gear score of 659 in January and see a nice constant growth to an average gear score of 687 in December. In comparison to all other guilds across EU, NA and Asia, according to my research, we currently hold the highest average gear score across all regions. Please note that this average gear score does not include the 2 gear score we got as an event, since this will probably be taken from us in a few months. Since we just got C15 and with a bit more time, I expect us to reach an average gear score of 690 early to mid-January 2023. I'm quite impressed of how much work you guys still put into your gear, even though the game was quite frustrating this year in terms of content, so thank you for that. We will now continue with Siege. As a Siege guild, we didn't really had any bigger fights this year with 2 exceptions. From our current data, we currently hold Calphian Siege around 119 times in total. 51 of those this year alone. Since there were only 53 Saturdays this year, we pretty much hold the castle the whole time. From those 51 sieges, we made a total amount of silver for our whole guild of around 13 trillion silver. What as a guild gave us a huge advantage over most other guilds to grow further in gear score. However, it was a lot of work to reach the point where we are now, so thank every one of you and our leadership for making this possible. I do hope for more fights though in the upcoming year, or a change in the siege system, since on EU, while we have some guilds that reach good attendance, it's not enough to fight on 3 castle sieges. We're staying in the war section and will go on with the main versus Boar Steep war score, our biggest competitor on EU. The war score numbers you see here are not 100% accurate, since we missed a few weeks of tracking because some people ended the war accidentally by mispressing. However, I will say though that the main versus Boar Steep arc is going on for 3 years now already, and I had a funny talk with the guy being 18 years old the other day and realized that when the main versus Boars conflict started, he was only 15. At this point you nearly can call this a generation war. The total amount of kills and deaths are from the last 2 years though, but still, I guess this will give you a good conclusion. While this year was not the best for actual console content, we quite had some cool events though. Starting with our own community tournament, the European Championship in January, the Arena of Archer tournament in April, the Tuvala Cup in July, the Main League Season 4 tournament in October, and the Voice of Adventurers in December. Moreover, in terms of our own guilds, we dropped Castle to fight Boar's Deep and the other guilds on BDO in May, and had our own main versus main Node War event in October. To sum up this year in terms of events and tournaments, there were quite a few, and me personally, I had a great time attending to multiple Polar Abyss events in real life, and even shoutcast at the Tovala Cup in Los Angeles. For the upcoming year, I do hope though that we will get noticed more again, and they pay more attention and move forward with console content and the potential next-gen port. At the end, I want to thank every single one of you again, since without your support or content you gave me, I probably wouldn't have been able to experience all that great stuff. And now, I hope you all have a great New Year's Eve and celebrate with your friends, family, or in-game the new year 2023. Thank you all again, and see you guys in the next one.